Forever United TV back again with another transfer update around Manchester United. We have got plenty to talk about this lunchtime. 3 strikers and 3 different deals, completely different deals and what's happening. One of them is Bryan Mbeumo and an important update on him. We're going to start with that today, and then 2 other forwards. One you'll be surprised about, and one is another deal that is very close. The surprise one isn't happening though, so stay tuned so you know exactly what's going on with them. But of course, get your comments in on all of them. If you think something might turn around in this transfer window, let's be honest, it is very, very likely that Manchester United are going to pull off some more surprises. So get into the comments section. Bryan Mbeumo is where we're starting though, and the update on him, it's got a little bit quiet simply because of the Victor Gyökeres situation, but we have been continuously updating you on everything, and we've got another update this afternoon, in fact, on everything and where we're at with the negotiations with Brentford. So Marco Alcaraz, our journalist in the know, who has been talking about this and about this deal in depth from the get-go, has actually messaged me regarding this deal as well. And in the last couple of hours, he's come out and said, this is the important bit with this, Manchester United and Brentford are in advanced negotiations over a deal for Bryan Mbeumo. Brentford are inclined to accept an offer if the payment structure aligns with their preferences and the add-ons are straightforward to trigger. So, we knew from last night that previously yesterday that Manchester United was straight back in and talking to Brentford regarding Bryan Mbeumo and this deal to get him to Manchester United. We spoke this morning about the importance of Manchester United moving this fast. They want to get it done in the next 5 days before the first part of the transfer window closes. So we're now at an advanced stage where United know what their first offer was rejected, what they need to do. It is thought that a bid of around about 60, just over, will get this deal done. Manchester United are pushing to get towards that. I did mention this morning that the add-ons are definitely where Manchester United will make this deal happen, but they have to be very specific and easy to trigger. Now, that what I was talking about yesterday, in fact, how, for instance, if United get back into Europe, a certain amount is triggered. If Bryan Mbeumo scores a amount of goals or hits a personal landmark, then that's another trigger that is in play as well. I think Manchester United's upfront fee for Bryan Mbeumo, in terms of what the actual definite price will be without add-ons, is going to be 50 million. That's Brentford's mark. We have discussed that before. Now it's all down to the add-ons. That's it. That's all that's left to deal with this, because we know that personal terms are nailed on, agreed pretty much. That was talked about over the last 2 days. We know the price. We know the wages that Bryan Mbeumo is going to be on now. And now it's looking like it's full steam ahead between Manchester United and Brentford. And this is now really starting to get close to what we all hoped would happen, which is Bryan Mbeumo done and Matheus Cunha done, all within the first couple of weeks of the transfer window. Let's not forget, it is only Friday the 6th of June right now, and this deal is already looking very, very close to being finalised. I think over the weekend, we are possibly going to get a here we go. That's my prediction on this from what is happening. I think something more substantial will come out today. We did say this morning, I bet we hear something. This is the first sign of it in terms of where Manchester United are at. They know what Brentford want. United are very clear on it. It's a fee that isn't going to be an issue for Manchester United. It's the whole structure of it. That's all that's been negotiated now. So when they say it's advanced talks, it is that they're pretty much aligned with everything that's going on. And now it's just to finalise the minor details. So the instalment prices per year, how many years it's done over. Then, like we said, the triggers of the add-ons, the amount of add-ons, and what the add-ons calculate to. I think that's everything that Manchester United are discussing right now with Brentford. So we are very, very close to having a here we go, our second one of the window already. Significant one and I think we can start to get excited about that one. Moving forward though into the non-starter. Now, I mentioned earlier on that Victor Osimhen had Napoli had rejected Al Hilal's move for Victor Osimhen. Thank God Mark Ogden from ESPN and Rob Dawson have come out today just to clarify this, because some people were talking like this deal might actually still be on for Manchester United. I said it and I reported it off the back of what United source said when they said that weeks ago April, in fact, Manchester United were discussing a potential deal with Napoli for Victor Osimhen. And this is where all the stories that we were talking about on this channel came from. It was from that time of the year, and it started to get a little bit interesting around Osimhen and the possibility, like, it wasn't going to go away until he signed for somebody else. But we found out that Manchester United had communicated with Napoli. They were miles apart on the personal terms. Osimhen was never going to happen. We should have just stuck by what the Athletics said at the start, which is that he's never been on the table. Well, they touched the table and then came straight away, because United weren't going to spend 75 million euros on Osimhen and spend the wages that he wants weekly as well. And that is dead. Mark Ogden of ESPN has come out and said he is not even in the reckoning right now. So that is another striker off the table. It does look like it is solely going to come down to whether United can get this Victor Gyökeres deal done. Osimhen is definitely not happening at Manchester United. United do have a striker, and his name is Rasmus Hojlund, and he has been very disappointing. Now, yesterday and throughout the week, we've been giving you smaller updates and continuous updates around Rasmus Hojlund and his potential move to Serie A. Now, we know from the detail that Inter Milan have put a very specific bid into Manchester United, which United are not keen on. But Rasmus Hojlund, according to Italian sources, now Gazzetta dello Sport being one of them, has said that he is on board with this. He has given his approval to moving on loan to Inter Milan. Now, this is important to remember, because him giving his approval to the loan, not the permanent deal, because there has been a lot of reports saying that he wants to stay and fight for his place at Manchester United. We know that that's not going to be, it's not going to be possible for him to fight for his place with less games to play and definitely a new striker coming in. I don't think Rasmus Hojlund is going to get the game time he wants. So, for international purposes, with a World Cup coming, Rasmus Hojlund is looking at a loan to Italy and the potential to play more games in more competitions and putting him out there more as a good move. You could argue that point, it is. Because what it also does is it brings him back to Manchester United as well after this loan is finished, unless he does really well and there is a triggered optional or obligational buyout on this for Inter Milan. Now, that is there, and their proposal is an option or obligation if certain marks are hit or if certain achievements are made from Rasmus Hojlund for 37.5 million is the reports at the moment. Now, next summer, Manchester United might be able to accept that, because we're 1 year on in Rasmus's deal in terms of the instalment payments coming in for him, or what we're having to pay out for him. And obviously, he would have had a full season playing football. So United are not losing a player and his value is going down. They've got a player who's playing who could be getting better. And then we've got a couple of options at the end of it. And it works for him as well, because he is fully in the reckoning for the World Cup squad. He's playing at a high level. And he's playing somewhere where he has featured and done well before. So Rasmus Hojlund is definitely still an option. But Manchester United, I would say right now, and from what's been said, don't want to sell Rasmus Hojlund. Don't want to send him out on loan. If he is going, it's a permanent deal this summer. But that is nowhere near happening at the moment. The loan will happen if Manchester United get enough funds from other sales so they can facilitate that loan and then take the money for him possibly next summer. Again, like, the bonus of the loan with obligation is that you do get the money the following summer and you can plan ahead with a different transfer window with that money already coming in. Well, you could say you could get Jadon Sancho scenario, but I'm sure Manchester United won't allow that to happen. If Inter Milan are hell-bent on getting Rasmus Hojlund in, they hold the cards for it. So, yes, there are your updates on them three strikers, everybody. So please do get your comments in on this. Bryan Mbeumo is in advanced talks now, well, United and Brentford are, over the sale of Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United. 60 million is going to get this deal done. It's all about the add-ons and how simple they are to be triggered. Manchester United know what Brentford wants. They are now advanced. It is all about the structure of the deal. There is nothing else to discuss, really. The personal terms are set in stone and good to go. Man United will not be going for Victor Osimhen. That deal is not happening and in any way, shape or form now. It's been put to bed. So not at all. And Rasmus Hojlund is definitely open to move on loan to Inter Milan. He has definitely given his willingness to go there. He has given his approval for that move to happen, and we could still see that depending on what happens with other transfers and if United make enough money out of this window. They're your updates for now, everybody. Get your comments in below. Bryan Mbeumo is close to Manchester United and getting that deal finalised now. It could be a here we go this weekend. Today? Maybe, you never know. But this weekend, it looks like we could be getting that here we go, everyone. Get your thoughts in the comment section. Give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button up on your screen right now. And I'll see you all later on with more updates on Manchester United's mega transfer window.